Welcome to week 4 of English 5-6 vocabulary. Infer, critical, mishap, pensive, sustainable. Infer. Infer is a verb, okay? And we hear this word quite often in school. We're asked to make inferences. Inferences are the noun form of this word, okay? So when we are making an inference, we are doing the action of infer, okay? The action verb of infer. The definition means to deduce or conclude information from evidence or reasoning rather than from clear statements. So making inferences is making an educated guess based on evidence and reasoning. So if I walked in today from school with an umbrella, right, the evidence would be my wet umbrella. You would be able to infer that it is raining outside. You come to a conclusion based on the evidence, okay? Synonyms: assume, conclude. Antonym: disbelief, misunderstood. Nick's parents inferred that he had not cleaned his room in years based on the moldy stench flowing from under his door. So they came to a conclusion, okay, after inferring that he had not cleaned his room based on the evidence of the smell. So we make inferences, right? That's the noun. That's when we use the evidence to come to a conclusion. We infer the action when we are deducing or concluding information from evidence. So infer. Critical. Critical is an adjective. Adjectives describe nouns and pronouns. It has multiple meanings. First, expressing adverse or disapproving comments or judgments. So you can say Sarah was critical of my actions, okay, when she gave me a dirty look, okay. Expressing or involving an analysis of the merits and faults of a work of literature, music, or art. So if you listen to a new album and you say, ooh, that wasn't very good, you are being critical, okay? Or you're making a critique. That's the noun form of the album. Involving the objective analysis and evaluation of an issue in order to form a judgment, okay? So when we look at something objectively, we do with that without any feelings, okay? So we might critique or be a critic of something if we are making an objective analysis, okay, in order to form a judgment, again, without feelings. If we are using a rubric to critique a student's essay, we are using that information on the rubric to help us judge the student's work without our personal feelings about that student. We are being objective. We are critically analyzing and being objective of their work without feelings. Okay, being critical or having a critique of their work using the rubric. The last definition, having the potential to become disastrous at a point of crisis. So it is critical that we find a vaccine for COVID-19 in order to make the world a safer place. Okay, it is critical. It's absolutely necessary. Okay. Helen's father was critical of her decision to attend Buckwheat University instead of Yale. So he is using that first definition, expressing adverse or disapproving comments or judgments. Critical. Mishap. Mishap is a noun, okay? So nouns are person, places, or things, and it means an unlucky accident. So if you rear-ended someone on the way to school, you could say that you had a mishap, okay? I had a mishap on my way to work. I accidentally rear-ended someone. Synonyms: blunder, calamity. Antonyms: blessing, accuracy. Last Thanksgiving, my family had a mishap in which we misplaced the turkey, only to find it months later in a mysterious place. Notice that this is a noun. It's a person, place, or thing, okay? My family had what? A mishap in which we misplaced the turkey, okay? Do not use that word as a verb. It's a noun, okay? So the mishap happened when Mrs. Clark rear-ended someone on her way to work. I hope I didn't jinx myself saying that now. Mishap. Pensive. Pensive is an adjective. Adjectives describe nouns or pronouns, and it means engaged in, involving, or reflecting deep or serious thought. So if you ever look at someone and they are deep in thought, they are being pensive, okay? They are pensively thinking about a particular idea. Synonyms: contemplative, wistful. Antonyms: ignorant, thoughtless. Johnny looked pensive as he contemplated which excuse to use for not doing his homework. Okay, so look at the picture on the screen. Pensive, deep thought. So you can say that Mrs. Clark was pensive as she thought about how to grade her students' work. She was deep in thought. Pensive. Last word, sustainable. Sustainable is an adjective. Adjectives describe nouns and pronouns, and it means able to be maintained at a certain rate or level. Okay, so we want the earth to be sustainable, right? We want it to be maintained at a certain level. We want it to be sustainable for life, for people to be able to breathe the air, drink the water, and have clean places to live. We want the earth to be sustainable. It also means conserving an ecological balance by avoiding depletion of natural resources. So we want the forests, right, to be sustainable, meaning that they continue to have those natural resources. Synonyms: viable, feasible. Antonyms: unendurable, fleeting. Take a look at the noun form, sustainability. So you might have to evaluate the sustainability of your life without a job, right? Can you maintain your standard of living, right? The sustainability of your life if you don't have a job. That might be difficult because you might not have money in order to pay your bills. That would probably not be a sustainable way to live. What kind of way to live? A sustainable way to live. Notice that I'm using the word sustainable to describe the way to live. Thomas's addiction to AJ's iced tea was not sustainable. His need for large cups of it per day robbed him of his life savings. Sustainable. That is the end of week 4 vocabulary.